had to go down my bare feet into a taxi, go down into Kusadasi village and go into a shop in my bare feet with all the boys laughing, and I had to try and buy a new pair of runners. It was quite funny, I have to admit, but no, guys, I mean, theft is bad there. Theft is bad. Peter. Hey everybody, welcome back to the episode. Today I'm going to talk about just a couple of pointers I'd like to just highlight really, guys, just in case you haven't been traveling for a while now. That kind of caught me out, actually, I have to say. I went to Kusadasi in Turkey for a week's holiday, and oh jeez, wait until I tell you the drama that unfolded on the plane on the way over. Even a guy attacking an air host. Yeah, that's right, attacking an air host on the fucking plane on the way over. I was like, get me out of here. Oh my god, I want to go home. But we're going to get into that. But I want to just do this as well because, you know, as many of you know, I like to try and help you guys as much as I can with anything that I can. And, you know, round trip from Cork. Now, I live in Cork in Ireland, guys, and Kusadasi is only a 4-hour flight from me. Right? Like, that's it. Like, literally, as the crow flies, as they say, if the plane is in the air, it's only 4 hours. It's nothing. But it took me 21 fucking hours to get over there and back. I mean, it's insanity. Insanity. Now, listen, by the way, I did a lot of traveling, and I haven't been traveling for a while because, you know, coronavirus and all this crap, right? So I kind of got just a bit sidetracked and rusty, I suppose, really, of knowing, you know, trying to be a little bit cute with stuff and traveling skills and ideas, and trying to minimize time. And, you know, it's amazing that even it caught me out. Even when we think we get a special offer, like I saw Kusadasi for a week's holiday, and it was all-inclusive, beer and food, all-inclusive, great. And then I paid for the flight accommodation, all-inclusive, for, it was $979. Now I thought, whoa, that's great. Problem is, I just had the blinkers on. Now, it's not that I'm broke at the moment, right? I just kind of went, you know what? I just want to go on a nice, quick, cheap, and cheerful holiday. I'm investing my money in stuff anyway. And you know what? I just want to relax over there, just chill out. And I saw this offer for Kusadasi, went, alright, that'll do me. Now, I definitely could have paid more for whatever, but I just saw special offer, grand, done. Didn't even think about where I was flying out of. Of course, I'm from Cork, guys, so what I had to do is I had to go from Cork to Dublin, which is a 3.5-hour bus ride up. Then you wait around a few hours in the airport. So we get onto the airplane when I'm on the way over, and all of a sudden there's a delay. Now the delay was the captain comes on, and he eventually tells us that there's a jamming problem or a signal reception problem, whatever the fuck, radar problem with the Turkey airline or airspace, right? So they had to sort this out. We end up sitting on the fucking runway for 3 hours. Right? 3 hours we're sitting on the runway. We haven't even taken off yet. So now already I've had a 3.5-hour bus ride up. Now I've got another 3 hours, 6.5 hours, and I was in the airport for about another 2 hours. So that's 8.5 hours before we even take off for fucking Turkey. 8.5 hours. Now, you tell me where the real special offer is on that one. Like, if you think about it, guys, I've actually lost a day of holiday already. And I actually did. I lost a whole day. Now, this gets worse, by the way. So, 8.5 hours. Now we fly to Turkey. 4.5 hours. Now we're up to 13 hours. And then we get delayed because, funnily enough, some dickhead Turkish fella, right, is in a bad mood because we're stuck on the fucking plane. And all of a sudden, what happens to him? He goes down to the back of the plane. Everybody's looking down the back, and I'm going, "Jeez, what's going on down here?" I couldn't see what was going on, but all of a sudden people kept looking down. I'm like, okay, what the hell? So I have a good look around this time. Then I see this huge guy, right? Massive, muscly guy. And he starts pushing the air host. Like, this guy, I saw him through the flight. Seems like a nice, presentable guy. Now, I was flying on Ryanair, and Ryanair, they don't have the nicest fucking air hosts and air hostesses, right? I think it's because they just get treated like shit, you know? And I think a lot of the customers treat them like shit, and I think the management treat them like shit. That's what I've actually been told by people before. So guys, if you ever try and fly Ryanair, stay the fuck away from Ryanair. They're the worst goddamn fucking airline you'll ever go with. And if you've never been with them, I'll tell you more about what Ryanair you have to deal with their bullshit about in a minute. So, poor guy now, right? But I'm feeling sorry for this guy. Now, he's not giving, like, the air host is not giving out back to the guy. He's just actually taking it like a champ. All of a sudden, you've got the air hostesses midway down. They're freaking out. They're almost like panicking. They're on the phone to the captain and this and that. Like, oh my God, what are we going to do? So, like, you know, God love the air hostesses. They're women, and you've got this huge, big, bulky guy, right? Strong fella. And I don't even know where the other guy went. Because there was two guys and then those two girls. So those four hostesses, air hosts and air hostesses together. So, like, God only knows where the other fella was, but it all takes off anyway. So the captain comes on. "Excuse me, the man down at the back. Please take your seat, sir. Otherwise we will be forced to call the police when we land." So eventually this poor little sulky baby decides to calm down. Now, I would imagine it's probably because we were stuck in the airport for 3.5 hours and tensions were rising. But who gives a fuck? Everybody else was sitting there too. I wasn't sitting there complaining. No one else was sitting there complaining. We were all tired and pissed off, yeah. But we were keeping it to ourselves, you know? We weren't giving out to people. So, so we get there anyway. And then all of a sudden, what happens? We have to wait another hour to get off the plane, because what they actually did was they got the guy arrested when we got there. So the guy gets arrested when we get to the Kusadasi. And then I have to wait for my bags and all that. That's another, I'm not joking you, another hour. Then I get outside the actual fucking airport, and I've gotta get a bus ride for another 2 hours. Actually, is this 21 hours or is this... You know what, guys? I'm sorry if I'm actually getting my figures wrong here. I definitely know my return travel was 21 hours, but we'll go through that in a minute. So, but we're getting close to 21 hours here on this one. But another 2 hours. I could have literally flown to Vegas and nearly back home with that. I mean, I definitely, no doubt about it, I could have flown to Chicago and back, and I would have been back home before I would have landed in fucking Kusadasi. It was ridiculous. I'll never, ever do it again. Now, look, I'm not blaming Kusadasi either. Can't blame the country. So, here's the thing, guys, I would keep an eye on, right? And by the way, this is for my Irish listeners too. If you are living in Ireland, keep an eye on this. But I would say this to my overseas listeners too, because you know what? You may think something's a great deal and, oh my God, I'm going to save a lot of money. Bullshit. Because the amount of money I spent, right, getting some food, or I got a couple of drinks when I was in the airport waiting, this and that, and just the sheer annoyance of sitting there fucking around on a Ryanair plane. It was not worth it. I would have, if you told me, Peter, you're going back again to Kusadasi, you're going to go through the whole amount, or do you want to take another route for an extra 500 quid? Yeah, 500 quid, no problem. Because my route was Cork, Dublin, Dublin, Kusadasi, Dublin, Bodrum, that's the airport, Bodrum, then coach ride to Kusadasi. So Cork to Dublin, Dublin to Bodrum, Bodrum to Kusadasi. Whereas I didn't do my research, and what I could have done, and I'm killing myself, and I met this air hostess on the way home, and she could have said you could have flown out of fucking Cork. And I could have actually flown out of Cork direct to Izmir, which is only an hour away from Kusadasi. And I would have paid it gladly. But so my point here, guys, is that, you know what? Now, look, I was very busy as well when I was booking all this shit, and I should have done my research. I should have. It's all my fault. 100% my fault. Point is this. You think you're getting a special offer? But you're not. Pay the extra bit. And even I remember this. When I was living in London, like this kind of backs up my point here. Even though I did make the mistake, like when I was living in London, I would travel from Cork direct to London Heathrow. And then I'd get the subway, the tube, sorry. And I'd get the tube from the, Heathrow Terminal 1 all the way out to the west of London. Well, I was living over by Ealing Broadway, it's called. And normally the flight was 110 quid. Now the thing is, I could have flown from Cork to London Heathrow, 110 quid, get the tube, bang. Or I could have flown from Cork to Stansted because it's, quote, cheaper with fucking Ryanair. Now, Cork Heathrow was with Aer Lingus. But if I went from Cork to Ryanair, I could have got a €60 flight, which sounds great, right? Sounds brilliant. But guess what? It's half price, but I'm flying into fucking Stansted in London. And Stansted is a €60 train ride up. So I'm basically traveling out of my way and then paying double, paying the exact amount that I would have paid to fly into London Heathrow. Even though it sounds like a great offer, it's half price. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. So guys, you know, all I would just say to you is this, you know, just do a bit of research. You know, if you're flying into, I don't know, wherever, anywhere in London, New York, fucking Miami, check out the nearest airports, where they go, right? Check them out. Because you'd never know. You'd never know. Because Ryanair do a lot of, out-of-the-way airports, which obviously, like Bodrum and Stansted. Because it sounds great, it sounds cheap, and people jump on it, and I did too. I made the classic fucking mistake. So, anyway guys, and by the way, about Kusadasi, if anybody's thinking about going there, I would not recommend it to anyone. If you are going, and if you do like the place, and if you've been there before and you still like going back, well hey, I'm not going to argue. I just had a horrendous experience. I stayed in a really bad hotel. Now, maybe that was the clincher for me. I mean, maybe there's some other beautiful hotels that you'll have a great time. So, you know, I'm not going to argue with anybody that enjoys Kusadasi here, by the way. I would seriously recommend, if you are going to Kusadasi, or do you know what? Anywhere that has all-inclusive, stay in a 5-star. That is ultra important. 2 reasons. Number 1, on the way over on the bus ride, I met this couple, and they were saying, oh, hey, you know, we only stay in 5 stars. And I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. Now, I was meant to be staying in a 4-star. Now, see, I never questioned this couple when I went there. They just said, oh yeah, we're just staying in this place here, and yeah, we only stay in 5 stars, man, when we go to, you know, resorts like this. I was like, fair enough. And I didn't get it. Why? And then I said, yeah, well, I'm staying in a 4-star. And he went, oh, okay, fair enough. And so I got to my 4-star, all-inclusive. Now, the beer's great. I mean, you can literally drink from 11 o'clock in the morning all the way up to 11 o'clock at night. Fucking brilliant. So, I mean, there is an advantage of all-inclusive. Problem is, the food was horrendous. Now, guys, when I say this was meant to be a 4-star, bullshit 4-star. It was a 2-star. Now, I've been told, and don't quote me directly on this, but I've been told by other people that I met in Kusadasi that they said to me that 5 stars aren't 5 stars that you'd get in most countries. The 5-star in Turkey would be 4-star here in Ireland or England or America are a 4.5-star at best. So, you know, it's not going to be a complete exact 5-star, but it's close enough. So that's what I've been told. So I would just do your research on that, guys, if you are going to Kusadasi, or, you know, somewhere that's similar to Kusadasi, like just somewhere in the sun package holiday. I would go with the 5-star. And I mean, even the food, I got food poisoning there. It was horrendous. I could barely eat after the first 2 days. You know, I mean, they were using the same fucking food day in, day out. No joke, guys. I mean, when I got there, the food actually the first night was kind of fresh enough. It was actually okay. I was like, all right, well, I can live on this for the week. It was, you know, rice, and I mean, they'd all sorts of options, but it was just disgusting food. So like the first night was okay. Second night, all of a sudden, it looked like, you know, the way you get a Chinese on a Sunday night and you might have some on the Monday night, you might just shove it into the microwave. It had that look about it and that taste, you know. It was not good. It was stale, and all of a sudden you could just tell these people just used the same fucking food over and over again. I got food poisoning there. I was going to, I'm not going to get into too much detail, but I was visiting the toilet. In one day, I visited the toilet 7 times. Yeah, and that's all I'll say. And it was not a pleasant experience. Now, thank God, I drank a lot of water. I got over it okay. So I was only down and out for 1 day. But still, this is like guys, I lost a day traveling and a day in bed. So like out of a 1 week holiday, now I'm down to 5. I mean, it's not good. It's not good. If you are going to Kusadasi, apparently, and I know this definitely, the main nightlife there is meant to be down by Bar Street. Yeah, well, Bar Street's a load of horse shit. It is dead, and it is full of Turkish guys just trying to get you to come in and pay a tenner a drink for your first one. Then they might give you a bit of a deal or whatever, but it gets very expensive, guys. Very, very expensive at nighttime, and it's and they're just all over you. Like, first of all, the bars aren't even busy anymore. Like, apparently, I met this Irish guy who lives in Kusadasi. He told me, and he was with his girlfriend one night. I was chatting away to him, and he said, "Oh, listen, man, you know, people don't go to Kusadasi anymore." And I went, "Well, fuck, I didn't know." And he said, "Yeah, man, look, you know, Bar Street was the place years ago, but it's not anymore. There's a couple of restaurants around the area that, yes, they are busy." And then I spoke to a couple of people during the week as the week kind of got on. Apparently there is a few bars and nightclubs, all right, that are busy. You might be dealing with tourists. Now, then again, I heard one local tourist bar that is hopping. But then again, I've heard that Bar Street's hopping, and you go down there and it's fucking shit. There's no one around. And actually, if there's any ladies here that are listening and you like Turkish men, well, I certainly would definitely go to Turkey or Kusadasi for Turkey men, because there's quite a few, not a lot, but like the Bar Street was actually 95% full of Turkish men in the club, not the promoters now, but in the club. And 5%, the rest of the crowd, was women looking to meet a Turkish man. And hey, you know, whatever, fair enough, cool, whatever you're into. So, you know, if you are looking for, ladies, if you are looking for a nice Turkish man, well, you'll definitely have plenty of option in Kusadasi. That is for sure. But if you're not into it, or if you're one of the lads listening here, Kusadasi is not the place to go. I'll tell you about my horror story of losing my runners, guys, right? Theft is not great in these 4-star hotels. There was not my second day, my third day I was in Kusadasi. I was sitting down by the pool. Now, I was on my own at the time. I was in my t-shirt, my shorts. I wasn't in for swimming, but I brought a towel, and I brought my pair of shoes, my socks, and I literally just took off my shoes, the heat, took off my socks, just, you know, tucked in the socks, grand, left my towel, and I was having a few drinks under the shade, which was fine. And then all of a sudden, I went upstairs to just, I can't remember what I was doing, but I was going to go up for just 5 or 10 minutes and I was going to come back down. Left my towel, left my shoes there, and because I was only going up for 5 or 10 minutes. And I just got upstairs and I went, oh, you know what, just going for a little lie down. I woke up 2 hours later. Now it was still bright outside, everything. Went downstairs, shoes gone, towel gone. I went, are you joking me? Like, it's still during the day. The swimming pool is still open. Everything, the bar is still open. They're not closing up. People didn't leave things there, right? Like, people were leaving fucking towels out. Towels out, but yet my stuff goes missing. So, I asked the staff, the pool staff. I went, hey guys, listen, I left towel runners here. Anything handed in? No, sorry. That was it. As in, fuck off. Went into hotel reception. Asked the same thing. No, sorry. And that was it. That's all I got back. I mean... And then what happened, me? I had to go down on my bare feet into a taxi, go down into Kusadasi village and go into a shop in my bare feet with all the boys laughing, and I had to try and buy a new pair of runners. It was quite funny, I have to admit, but guys, I mean, theft is bad there. Theft is bad. So I would be very, very careful. Get a safe. That's what I would suggest. You'll always get a safe in your room. They're one of the old-fashioned ones. It's a lock. But look, hey, it'll help. And I didn't get anything stolen from my room, thank God. But yeah, that was my horror story on that one. So there's a lot of families there. A lot of families with, you know, they'll bring their kids, or they'll bring granny or granddad with the kids, which is lovely. You know, don't get me wrong, it's really nice. You know, you got a good family unit there, and I met quite a few families down by the pool now every day, and we'd great fun. We'd a couple of beers, had a laugh. I didn't meet many people my age or younger, unfortunately. That was just the way it was. There was a few people around and a few couples. There was a couple of Turkish guys younger than me, alright. One or two English guys, but in general, you know, if you're a family and you want to take away the kids, or if you're a couple, it's not a bad place. I would just be very, very careful of the 4-star resorts, because you could end up in the toilet like I was, okay? And even coming home, guys, and it was just a fucking nightmare. So, like, I was getting the bus. It was a 3-hour bus ride back. We get to the airport. It was delayed for a couple of hours. And unfortunately, I had to time my air coach from Dublin to Cork, because the last one, it was at 12:30 at night. And then the next one is 6:30 in the morning. So I get in. Of course, the problem is Ryanair, again, two for two here. 2 Ryanair flights delayed. The second flight coming home, delayed a few hours. It was a 5-hour trip back home. And when I got home, guess what? Missed the air coach. So I had to wait from another 6 hours in the airport home. Then I had the bus ride home to Cork. It was a nightmare, and all around 21 hours total from the time I left Turkey to the time I reached Cork City. It was a fucking nightmare. So yeah, I think we're going to leave it here, guys, today. But just 2 things in closing. Just don't make the same mistake I did, guys. Just, you know, don't jump at that special offer. It sounds great, it sounds fantastic, or, you know, you might be distracted with other stuff in your, you know, work-wise or whatever. I understand that. And, you know, you just don't have the brain capacity on a day to be thinking stuff, you know? Please, guys, don't make the same mistake I did. Think it through. Just because it sounds like a great fucking idea, think of the travel time you're going to do, going from there to there. Or you could fly direct out of your own fucking airport like I could have, and I could have saved so much goddamn time. It's unbelievable. I could have clawed back a day of travel. An actual day of holiday. Insane. And be careful, guys, if you're going to, you know, these sun resort places. Go with 5-star. Don't go with 4. 4-star is really 2-star. So hope that helps, guys. Kusadasi, I would not recommend it unless you are a family, a couple, families, you know, bringing granny and granddad along with the grandkids, or just yourselves or whatever, or just the kids, or a couple itself. But apart from that, if you're going for single life, I would definitely not recommend Kusadasi. Okay, guys, I'll be back again with another episode coming up tomorrow. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Peter.
Walsh.